Top 5 other recruiting issues that need addressing, or that coaches would like addressed, or the powers that be would like addressed. Number 5, when should you start recruiting players? Now that the calendar's starting to move a little bit, I know that there is some groundswell, or maybe a kind of a large groundswell among coaches, to be able to start recruiting them even earlier in their high school careers. I'm not sure.
Like women, seems like that happens with women's basketball prior.
Yeah,
it seems like it.
Yeah, and men's basketball, men's basketball seems to happen earlier and earlier. But football, you do have harder cap restrictions on that. I'm not sure what the right answer here is on this. Like, should you be able to go recruit kids at the end of their freshman year, which they can't do right now, although they kind of can because of camps and whatnot? I don't know what the right answer is here. Like, I don't really have a position on it, but it is something that they want to address and is going to be out there until there's a new rule on it.
Yeah, I have no idea what the thing to do here is. That's for those who are deep in the recruiting weeds to figure out.
You can't do anything till they're a junior? Is that what you're saying, Paul, that they're wanting to do something?
I think they have to be like a rising junior. I think right now they want them to do rising sophomores.
Okay.
Yeah, I know baseball just fixed their calendar apparently that they're not allowing you to get contacted until, I guess, like something I just saw it earlier, like your start of your junior year or something like that. And I don't know how they're retroactively going to go fix previous offers made to like 8th graders or whatever, but they have made that tweak to the baseball side of things. You obviously couldn't do that in football. I don't think you could have it to where you're just recruiting juniors, to start off with. But, yeah, I don't know what the answer is here as far as what's the best for all involved.
Yeah. Number 4, and they just did this, but I do think they could maybe even go further. Could you take away more days on the road? They took away a bunch, and shortened the recruiting calendar, which is, I think, great for the quality of life of coaches, not only – and players, honestly, but for coaches, not only college coaches, but high school coaches who, if you get a call and say, hey, Marcus Freeman's here on this, like, hey, Marcus Freeman's coming today. And you're like, well, I was there goes that nice dinner I was going to go to, because you got to kind of hang out and do all those things. So I think that part of it was just a lot of old school things. Like, you had to be in the room in front of kids for so long because it was harder to communicate with people. Now, it's easy to get in touch with people. You don't need to be there all the time. Heck, they're texting with these guys all the time anyway. So I think it's a good idea to take the days away on the road, and I think they could maybe even see if they could shorten that even more in the future just due to technology.
Lindale has this kid, Casey Poe. He's an offensive lineman, is really, really good, and they might have one or two others that are pretty good. Poe has got offers from all over the country. Coach Cochran, who's the head coach at Lindale, his brother's on staff at Tech, said to me there was one day where he went into the field house like at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, which some coaches, and he got home like past midnight because he was entertaining so many coaches over a 2 or 3, 4 or 5 day period when they all started hitting the road.
Well, what do you think?
He had no time.
What do you think it's like at Lake Belton right now?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
I mean,
with what, Bridges and Micah Hudson? Yeah. Good gosh.
Yeah. Number 3, is the transfer portal window working for everyone? I mean, I think this was a good idea to put it in a window, but is the timing right? How much can you tweak this going forward and improve it to make it make sense the most it can? And maybe we're at the only way it's going to be better, but I do think that there's still, even with the window, some confusion. And like I said, look, it ends on April 30th and other people's springs, and that might be their own fault because it's not like something the conference schedules out for you that they scheduled on April 29th to end. So
I got a question, Craig, Paul.
Okay.
Spring drills ends. Some have already done. So the portal starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Aren't you in class? If you transfer and school's not over.
Well, you're just saying you're going to transfer. You can
can't
finish
transfer
school
to the end of school.
Yeah.
I
You
wonder
got like
how
a month left. That's all.
Yeah, I know, but it just
If that.
I sure hope that that's all on the up and up with everyone.
Look, there'll be
following.
some colleges that are done next week, Smokey.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
right.
they're just
yeah.
done for that semester.
I mean, Baylor's going to be done in probably less than a month, right? About a month. Is that right, Emery? Yeah.
So,
okay. All right. That's not as bad as I thought.
No. Number 2, NIL transparency. And the reason I say this, I'm not even talking about guardrails here. I think one of the things you need to do is just let's quit pretending that the schools shouldn't be involved in this. Like, this is for this and that and the other thing. Like, take away all the pretense to it. Like some of these things are made, like, they can't be for this, it can't be for that, but we know that it totally is. So let's just figure out when it comes to recruiting, like, what the school has, what they can do, not that they have to, it has to go through this weird, channels of, legitimacy. Make those channels really clear of what they can do, and the school can say, yes. When you come to get recruited, you can say, okay, you're going to go see the NIL coordinator right now. Here are the offers available to you from our kind of like NFL agents, approved list of collectives. And then you can go. The collective can spend as much money as they want, but the school can facilitate all of it so that it's not, and I know that that's probably not the best solution because, given the history, the schools can't completely be trusted, but I think it's better than just, all right, go see Fred or this guy,
which is
Fred.
what they used to do.
Yeah, it's just.
Hey, by the way, go to the coffee shop and there's a brown paper sack.
Yeah.
With maybe coupons in it.
Yeah. Order the chocolate chip pancakes with extra ketchup.
USC has a new collective that is like it's taking them to another level. They got a late start with theirs.
Yeah, I mean the collective's exactly what he's talking about. It's under the USC umbrella. It's owned or not owned, but it's operating with USC's permission and gets their watermarks and gets to use all of their logos and is basically their deal now. So when it comes to the NIL stuff, man, there's some days where I find it fascinating. There's some days where I'm just like, figure it the F out already. Like the freaking just constant, like, well, what do we do here? And how do we do this? And it's just, let's just play college football. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they fix it. I don't know. Like, we start talking about governments and I'm immediately just like, oh God. But yeah, it just seems so much more complicated than it needs to be. Am I wrong?
No, it
just
is.
seems
Do
so
what you were doing
convoluted.
before, except when you pay somebody, do it on the table.
It's just so complicated for stupid reasons. I mean, just be above board and let the schools handle it, and whatever makes it simpler and clearer and easier to follow along with, and better for the student athlete. Fine, do whatever. But like all of this, this is not this, but this is under this, but it's not that because you can't do this. It's just like figure it out already.
It's
like, God Almighty.
It's the new you can have bagels but not cream cheese rule.
Right. It's just.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
I think more people
about all these
probably agree with you.
collectives and
You're
this
not
guy's-
saying it's bad. What you're saying is just figure it out.
Yeah, like I mean, it's all fine. I mean, I'm not anti-collective or anything like that. It's just I'm having a hard time following along with what is what in all of this, and what this collective is versus what that collective is, and why this one's good but that one's not, and why this school works with this one but they don't. On this school will work with any of them, and it's just it seems like it's very complicated and doesn't need to be that complicated, and I don't know why that is. Whether it's state politics or the universities themselves, but I just wish everybody would, just be more transparent and play with the same rules, and just, be a lot clearer on the direction that everybody's trying to row all together.
Yeah, absolutely. And number 1, and this is a big one, find the best time for signing periods. Because now the way that the calendar falls, it's a mess for coaches.
I don't think you can do that because the transfer.
Well, yeah, I know
if let's say you're Micah Hudson and today you commit to USC or Texas or right? Ohio State. And you don't have to, right? I mean, if you sign, why would I wish it was more tidy, but I don't know if they can do that.
I think really the only thing you can do, because the transfer window essentially has to be when it is. Mm-hmm. Right? So the only thing you can do is move the early signing period up, which then complicates it, because right now it's in a good spot because every state but this one, which grinds high school football into a fine white powder and snorts it, is done. Like Texas has, a few teams still in the state championships, but for the most part, the other 49 states are done. Nobody's playing games anymore. So you can navigate one state as opposed to 49. But if you move it, say, 3 or 4 weeks up, then pretty much everybody's in their state championships. Everybody's still playing high school football. Everybody might even still be in their playoffs. So then it makes it harder on the high school kids. So the only way I think you can do it and make it make sense is to move it before the season, which is nobody really wants. So it's really confusing.
Yeah, I mean, signing day number 2's still fine where it is. That one's not had an issue, although it's just a lot less popular. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't have kids in school. I don't know what the calendars are like these days and how it all fits together puzzle piece-wise. I don't know if there is a perfect spot because you know what's going to happen is, let's move it before the season. And then what happens? Somebody inevitably – you can't do that, or somebody signs early, and that's too early because then Ohio State called in October, and they're already signed, and then they go to the appeal to the NCAA, and the NCAA never says no to anything. So then, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I mean, in theory, I guess you could change it. I don't know how many issues there are with the way that it is right now. I mean, early signing period seems to have been pretty okay, and it hasn't killed off the second one, but – yeah, I just don't know when a better time or a best time would be as far as that goes.
You're going to have to move it to like August 1st and where it is now in February.
Right.
So where if you're really locked in August, then you can do it.
It's just going to
But it's going to be less people that'll sign in August because now they're going to want to sign in.
It's going to be all it takes is one student athlete or whoever to say, well, I didn't know about, or someone gets in trouble, a coach or a player or a team.
What are you going to sign in August and the coach gets fired and then what?
Yeah, do any good.
So, I mean, if you're never going to say no to anything, then it doesn't really matter when you do it. It doesn't really change anything. And, I think doing it before the season, it just leaves more room for guys who have super senior year and all of a sudden blow up, but thought that Bowling Green was going to be the only school and maybe that's just assuming that would be the case. That's automatically where my head goes, though. So, I don't know when, like I said, a better time would be.
All right, Paul, thank you very much.